The risk of catastrophic flooding continues across parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky over the next couple of days. We're focusing in on this area, but it's not the only places that we're going to see severe weather, and also some really impactful weather over the next couple of days. Rainfall amounts here could exceed close to a foot. I mean, we've already seen quite a bit of rain. It looks like there's more rain on the way. We're going to look at that here in the video today. And another component that's, I think, of concern is this change of wind direction here. We've got a lot of wind shear with a warm front, kind of a stationary front situated across parts of East Texas, up into Arkansas and Tennessee. It's a focal point this afternoon for severe thunderstorms, and we've seen plenty of those already. A big temperature difference, too, on the southern side of this front. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, some areas close to 80, even overnight. Further to the north, much colder here, lows in the 40s, even some 30s and 20s up across the northern plains. And then heading into tomorrow, we bring that warm air further to the north. We start to squeeze it up, and then right in here, more severe weather possible, and it could get really intense heading into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Here are the risk areas through the rest of the evening into the overnight from Texas north, especially once you get here into Arkansas. We were looking at the wind fields there at the surface. You can see that change of wind direction along that front, and right along that front as these storms ride along to the east and northeast, there could be some strong storms that could produce some tornadoes. Of interest, too, watch out here into southeast Kentucky over the next couple of hours. If you're watching this live, this is what's going on as we take a look at this right now. Storm Prediction Center watching this area right here across eastern Kentucky for the possibility of some tornadoes. There could be a few of those. Some strong damaging winds appear to be the biggest risk, but we've got a lot of advisories to look at in the form of flash flood warnings. We've got flash flood watches, flood warnings, tornado watches. At the time of this video, there are multiple tornado warnings and just a widespread area of tornado watches here from Kentucky all the way down into Texas as the severe weather continues through the evening hours, and multiple flash flood warnings going right now across Nashville, north of Nashville into Kentucky. We even have a tornado warning at the time of this recording right here just to the south of Nashville. And you can see these flood warnings, flash flood warnings continuing north and east all the way up into West Virginia. The problem is we're going to see more of these over the next several days. That's thunderstorms repeating over the same area. And look at this, guys. This risk increasing on Friday across Arkansas. We now have a moderate risk of seeing severe weather really across northeast Texas here. It does include Texarkana, northeast up to Little Rock, and a good chunk of Arkansas here. Strong damaging winds, hail, and of course some tornadoes too. You've got a pretty decent risk here, now up to a 15% chance of seeing a tornado within that 25-mile area radius, and we also have a hash area out here too, and that means significant risk of tornadoes. And then heading into day 3, this would be Saturday, more storms across this region, and you get the idea, right? More thunderstorms, and at this point we're clearly concerned about the severe aspect, but the flooding, that's going to be a huge problem over the next couple of days. Here's some of the latest data coming in on how these storms are going to evolve as we head through the evening hours. Again, into Arkansas, Tennessee, there could be more tornadoes as we head through the evening hours, and strong damaging winds that get tapped into a little bit further to the north and east. You can see how these showers are also falling, and these heavy thunderstorms are moving over areas that are already experiencing, really low flash flood guidance. In other words, it's not going to take a lot of rain to cause flash flooding, and just, again, a slew of watches out for the next several days here as close to 10, 12 inches of rain total are expected. Here's a closer look here into Arkansas through the evening hours. We're going to see these storms evolve. There could be, again, some tornadoes here across parts of Mississippi into parts of Arkansas and West Tennessee. We're already seeing that with those tornado watches and several tornado warnings. As we head into the early morning hours, this starts to quiet down somewhat here across Arkansas, but a few of these could still be going strong across Tennessee. And now as we head into Friday, our risk really starts to pick up here across southeast Oklahoma into Arkansas, and this continues as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. This is the end of the HRRR 3K run here that gets updated every 15 minutes or so. This is a different run. This is the NAM model a little bit further to the north. We're going to be dealing with some strong storms along our front too. We've seen severe weather into parts of West Virginia, some heavy rain, some flooding, and that will continue. Charleston, West Virginia, flash flood warnings right now. Those continue back to the west too. I do think we're going to see more rain here, unfortunately, and that's just adding insult to injury And then look, a decent shot of showers heading into Saturday. This could be a secondary round of storms, and some of these could contain some gusty winds, some hail, and maybe even a few isolated tornadoes with this threat. It's just incredible. Into the northeast we go. Rain moving here, and some of these storms could be strong in northern parts of West Virginia, across southeast Pennsylvania. This dies down as we head into Friday morning, and then a little bit of a break. Most of your storm track to the north, right along the Pennsylvania-Maryland line, and this lifts a little bit further to the north as we head into Saturday. Back into the west, unsettled here too. We've got plenty of snow. It's cold out here for this time of year. We get a bit of a break, though, across California into Oregon as that moisture lifts to the north, but we're going to stay chilly, unsettled, and a little bit snowy into the mountains across the southwest. And there could be some significant snow into the mountains of New Mexico as we head into Saturday. Otherwise, Arizona, into Southern California, Nevada, also into Utah, we stay relatively quiet, but more rain showers moving into Northern California as we move into Monday and Tuesday. And temperatures a little bit warmer across the southwest today, at least compared to today, heading into tomorrow. Across the Pacific Northwest, chilly here. A little bit of snow falling here, too, up along the U.S.-Canadian border, snow showers in the mountains. That starts to wane and go away as we head into Saturday, and here comes the next plume of moisture into the Pacific Northwest. It's bringing rain. Snow levels are going to be pretty high until this cold air crashes in, and then we'll see those snow levels drop into the Cascades, also into the mountains of British Columbia, and into the Canadian Rockies, and up here into Idaho and Montana. More snow on the way here. Temperatures a little bit warmer too tomorrow across the Pacific Northwest. And as we head into Saturday, look at your numbers here. They get even warmer. So a warming trend on the way across the Northwest. Here's a wide look at the entire country over the next several days. Again, we're watching this region for that threat of severe weather and rain. If you're just joining the live stream, you can back it up and take it to the beginning as we approach the end here and we look at everything over the next week or so. More rain falling across the south. Heavy thunderstorms, severe weather, snow across the Colorado Rockies. That drops into the far southwest as some cold air aloft moves here. And then I think you watch this trough as it swings through Texas. So this could bring some more severe weather on Saturday. Storm Prediction Center watching the south. And then look how cold it gets across parts of West Texas, trying to show a little bit of snow, and some of that snow trying to mix in on the backside of our precipitation as our front finally pushes to the east and we get rid of the heavy rain threat. And then cold air builds into the Great Lakes around this upper trough. Across the west, fairly warm in this area, but across the Pacific Northwest, we're feeling the influence of that next trough and that next system that's going to bring more rain and unsettled weather across the Northwest. Warming up across the plains states anyway, but we stay chilly and cold into the Northeast with maybe, check that out, an area of low pressure, a clipper system almost, if you will, is going to try to bring some snow here into the Northeast. Across the Southeast, relatively dry, high pressure building in, a bit breezy heading into next week too. Cooler though, below average, and then high pressure settles in here to the Mid-Atlantic. On the backside of this, temperatures starting to creep up across the northern plains, and we stay a little bit unsettled for the Pacific Northwest. So that's a quick look at the entire forecast. Again, you can back it up from the beginning. The video really focusing in on this concern for the heavy rain that's ahead and the severe weather that we're seeing, not just this evening, but into tomorrow as the storms continue across the central and even as far east as the New Jersey shore. Watch this area tonight, too, into Tennessee and Kentucky. All right, see you next time.